Hello everyone, and welcome back to NieR Replicant, version 1.22, etc. Back at the Strange Things shop because I collected all the wolfhide necessary. We at least proceed with this quest. Let's see if it stops there.
I got your 10 wolf hides.
たくさんより俺いてあとんとザサンケくれたさたおりでした
Thank you so much. Now all that's left is to create the coat and try to make amends.
She's super mad at you, right? Will she even let you speak to her long enough to give her the present?
滝幸あったユザサタイチ滝と起きてしてすれ
Well, she did throw something at me the last time I approached, so I don't know. Maybe you could ask her for me? It's not stopping there.
Oh, come on, really? Look, if it's just giving her a message, fine, but the present's on you.
立ちさらたちさたいクズ上と最高値行くとでお手伝い聞く
Of course, of course. I'm so sorry for all the trouble. Anyway, you can find her on the floor just above us. This way?
Hi there. I, have a message for you.
夫サラ
From my no good cheater of a husband, I bet.
Yeah. Anyway, he says he knows he was wrong and wants to give you an apology present.
トラキやりさたて
Oh, that is so like him.
たるんださらギサラウワシタンてきたするいとち
Should have known better than to cheat in the first place. He's far too stupid to ever pull it off. Where is this going?
けきているころゆりるきてはじよりう
Still, he sounds like he's learned his lesson, so maybe I'll forgive him just this once.
サタイとたさたおりでしきたゆとぞ勝利をすとおさぜでく
I managed to patch things up, more or less. Anyway, thank you. I couldn't have done it without your help.
Don't cheat on her again, okay?
そろそろあなたてサタイチつすくちくるより
Oh, I won't. From now on, I'm dedicating my whole life to making her happy. Alright, so it didn't go much farther than finding the 10 wolf hides. Ah, come on, up. Let's see, and with that, I believe everything pretty much wants me to go back to my village. Let's see, for a runaway I have to go back to the runaway guy's parents. I have to talk to the gate guard who gave me this fragile delivery. Still have to collect some things for this quest. And I'm sort of hitting a point where maybe I don't want to do every side quest. Speaking of which, though, see, I still have the melon that I bought, right? I'm pretty sure I bought a melon. More items. Is it a raw material? So many raw materials. That was one cancel too far. I should have just gone with all. The looking for a melon. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I definitely looked in the wrong category, but yep, got a melon. That being said, the main quest is also telling me to go back to Yona, so I wonder if I'll be able to hand the melon in. Whee! Oh. Right, I think that was actually a message that I didn't catch in time. But still haven't read it aloud on camera, maybe? Scorpions! Seems like the scorpions just kind of stay in place. I've noticed that, while I was grinding for the wolf pelts, I noticed that pretty much all the gray arrows are just the scorpions lying in wait. Gotta say, for a while there, I was actually worried the wolf hide grind was going to take a while longer than it did. Took me 2 trips, but they really liked to drop their teeth for some reason. I suppose, the sword I'm using is probably, you know, better at, making teeth than carving hide. Oh. Gotcha. Alright. In case. Meat. Shroom. Goat hide. Eee. Probably can't have too much of that stuff, and totally missed that wizard. Alright, village. Write Aster letters every single day. He always worries about me, but I feel fine.
Your delivery is complete.
Thanks. Here's what I owe you.
Eee. Camera. Got that the being near the gate kind of robs me of camera control. Alright, so let's see. It's at the end of the market area, right? Where the runaway's father is? Or grandfather? I can't remember which. Keep playing this like only once a week and hello. Oh. Guess I go inside.
Nobody's here.
I believe they left us a note.
Thanks to your help, my son has returned to take up the family business. We have decided to move to a new land to begin anew and thoroughly train him to carry on the family name.
Well, that's sort of anticlimactic. I wonder what the business was anyway.
Hey, are you friends with the people who lived here?
No, not really. Why?
Because the goddamn bastards borrowed money from everyone in the village and then skipped town.
Ah, fun. Guessing maybe one of them got greedy, and that's what the whole quest was about?
Apparently their son ran away because he wanted to escape a life of crime. But then some idiot brought him back.
Oh, never mind. Complete other direction.
Well, I guess we know the family business now.
To think we did not even get paid for this absurd misadventure. Oh well. Perhaps we should tally it up as an expensive life lesson and move on.
Wow. Alrighty then. Still doing that, huh? Oh, yep. Just 2 quests that not sure I want to do at the moment, and 1 quest left to turn in, which is also the direction of the main story. Really like music for most of the town areas. Although, at this point I haven't heard seafronts in a while. I wonder when next I'll be there. Still looking sad. Should I? Yeah. At this point, it's a character. Yona, I'm back. 100. Fence drop.
Yona,
Oh, hey,
how are you feeling?
better, now that I'm taking the medicine you brought.
Good.
By the way, are you gonna stay here today?
Oh, dang. Definitely concerned now that I won't be able to turn that melon in. Alright, but sure, I'll stay. Before I select the option though, you have to wonder, I'll probably check back, but I wonder if Devila had anything more for me besides the 2 quests that I have now.
You bet.
Really? You'll stay with me? Really?
Yeah, Yona, I'll stay.
Yay!
Now get back to bed.
Okay.
Yep, next day. Ooh. I hear a voice. I squint and see a boy standing before me. Hair is silver, his skin is pale, and he stares up at me with hard, glassy eyes. Soon his lips begin to move, but no sound comes out. What is he saying? I can't hear him. Can't hear him. Oh, dear. Can't hear him. I can't hear him. I can't hear him. I can't. Try to leave, but something about the boy holds my gaze. I watch his face expressionless as his lips slowly flutter. What is he trying to say? Wait, it's a phrase. I can almost make it out. It starts with an S. Then there's an E. I can almost see it now. The letters begin to fall together, one after the other, faster and faster. Okay, sealed verse. The sealed verse. Thing I'm looking for, the key to saving my sister. Stare at the boy with renewed ferocity, trying desperately to make out his next word. Dream. Dream? What? What the heck does that mean? Lips move again, faster now. I can't follow them. Darn it, I can't make it out. I want to scream. I want to tear the walls down around me, but instead I force myself to be calm. I can do this. I can do it for Yona. Slowly, ever so slowly, I parse out the letters that make up his final words. Forest of Myth. Ooh. Next morning, Yona's not. Oh wait, I'm downstairs.
Just a dream. Even in my dreams, I'm hunting sealed verses.
Morning.
Morning, Yona.
What's wrong? Are you feeling sick too?
No, I had a strange dream.
What was it about?
It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
'Cause I had a dream too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Me and this boy were playing a game together.
What kind of game?
It was called Guess the Words. I think he made it up because I never heard of it before.
How did it work?
The boy would move his mouth, but no words would come out. Then I had to guess what he was trying to say. It was hard. I wanted to play hide and seek, but we had to play his dumb game instead.
So what did he say?
I don't know. All I could figure out was dream and forest of myth. But don't worry, I'm gonna study hard so that next time I can figure out everything. We should play a game together sometime too.
Sure, Yona. I got your melon, Yona.
Whee!
Thanks.
I'm so happy for this.
If there's anything else you want, just let me know.
Well, since you offered, would you mind getting me a watermelon?
Can I buy an extra one of those?
A watermelon this time? Sure thing.
I kinda wanna find out before I even try talking to her. That would be a no. Darn.
I'll be waiting for that.
Alrighty then. Well,
Something troubling you, lad?
It's nothing. Don't worry about it. Come on, I need to go ask Popola something.
alright, well, just for the hay of it, let's give this new character a, friend. Let's see, let's fertilize, let's go with the bounty fertilizer. And plant the watermelon seed. Now then, Popola. Hang on a second. Just the white dot on the map distracted me. I want to double check, just making sure it was Yona. Popola, I need to ask you something. Might it be about shared dreams? Load faster. Also, hi, Yona. Actually, I want to see this place real quick. Oh, interesting. So there's like the big base armor thing with the shield, and then empty space, and then Tiny's grandma, then Andros, and then the cube thing. Why is there an empty space? Did I miss like an optional boss? Something?
What's up, Popola?
Oh, hi. I just got a strange letter in the mail.
Dearest Popola, I hope this letter finds you well. I'm writing in hopes of bringing to your attention a certain dream issue of concern regarding recent events in Dream the Village. Okay. It's like I was trying to parse the grammar there, and then I looked further, and it's, oh boy. I was hoping I might be, Dream, able to get your advice, Dream, on the matter. Okay. So, I'm guessing if I just remove the word dream, from most of this. Actually, no. Probably actually just remove dream from all of it, and the message becomes much more coherent. So let's try that. I am writing in hopes of bringing to your attention a certain issue of concern regarding recent events in the village. I was hoping I might be able to get your advice on the matter. Recently, there have been reports of a certain okay. at this point it does become very incoherent. I think at one instance of dream has to be real here. Of a certain dream of dream, evil, dream, empty, dream, curse, dream, evil, dream, words, dream, and wow. Yeah. The second paragraph becomes incredibly incoherent.
That is certainly one bizarre piece of writing.
Who's it from?
The mayor of a small village in the Forest of Myth. It's a wooded area up north.
The Forest of Myth?
They're usually a bright and cheerful group of people. Something like this is very out of character for them. I have a bad feeling about this.
I'll check it out.
You will? But...
Don't worry about it. I've got business there anyway.
Oh, well, all right. Thank you.
Okie doke. Yeah, even when I tried to remove dream there, like, the other words started to not make sense grammatically. And I was totally not paying attention to that message. I have no idea if it was a new one or an old one. Forest of Myth is actually out this way, is it not? Let's get there with a hard thud. Boom. I am tempted to go and look for more side quests anyway. But, no, let's just do this. Iona. I wonder how much longer the, Iona, loading screens are gonna last. Or, the one that has, like some kind of, face, kind of looks like a lion face, hasn't come up, and whoa, that was a load. Really hung there for a bit. I haven't seen the lion-like face thing come up, in quite a while. Oh, you know what? Well, I don't know if they stock up on new maps. I should have at least checked the medicine shop in the village for new maps. Hey, Popo sent me a new book about a great big tree. That's definitely one I've read before. This place is very pretty.
It sure is quiet here.
Such silence bodes ill. There's trouble on the way. I'm certain of it.
You know, a little optimism now and then wouldn't hurt, Vice.
Such cheek.
Strength capsule. Magic capsule. Box. With an antidotal weed.
Beware. Beware the words.
The words? What do you mean?
Contagious words. Those who dream.
Those who dream?
Hold a moment. There is a strange new sensation in my mind.
Vice's voice, wow, rose in a quizzical way.
It is not quizzical.
Wow.
What's going on?
Villager's body shuddered as he slowly opened his eyes.
Perhaps we should start by asking this man.
Who are you?
We heard something happened to this village, so we came to see if we could help.
Mayor stared at Aster and Vice.
If you can speak to me, I must have caught you in my dream.
In your dream?
Mayor explained. In the past weeks, a mysterious disease called the Death Dream had spread across the forests of myth. Those who caught it were cursed to fall asleep and live forever within the world of their own dreams. The village mayor had determined the Death Dream was spread from person to person by spoken words, but before he could learn more, the disease took him as well. I stared at the mayor, his mouth twitching slightly.
Now see here. Are you saying that we have been absorbed into your dream?
Well, yes. I think you have.
In other words, we've caught the Death Dream?
Before the mayor could confirm Aster's suspicion, Vice exploded with rage.
Ridiculous. Preposterous. Completely unfathomable on every conceivable level. I don't even recall falling asleep.
That's just how the Death Dream works.
So polite, the mayor was clearly trying to brush aside the book's remarks.
My remarks are not to be brushed aside, fool.
I wonder if, I wonder if the MC as well as the mayor can actually, like, read the stuff. I definitely get that Vice can read it because he's a book, and this is all, like, stuff you would see written in a book. The mayor twisted his mouth into an embarrassed grimace, then quickly changed the subject to who Aster had seen and what they had discussed since coming to the village.
Something there must have caused you to enter my dream. A certain conversation, a specific word, something.
Aster and Vice racked their brains, but could find no easy solutions. There were simply too many words to consider, too much random chatter, too many meaningless conversations.
Grimoire Vice does not engage in meaningless conversations.
Your suggestion that Vice chose his words carelessly seemed to sting his pride.
It does not seem to sting my pride, you bloated gasbag of a narrator. It has demolished it utterly.
Irritated, Vice looked skyward as if searching for answers in the heavens.
I was doing no such thing. Just leave me alone already.
The anger created by his harsh words bled over to Aster like a contagion. Oh, interesting. I'm not saying anything. Wait, said Aster suddenly. Did someone just say contagion? Yes, I believe so. What of it? Well, that villager told us to watch out for contagious words, right? The mayor leaned forward with renewed interest, pushing a startled Vice aside in the process. Must have said something, right? Asked the mayor. Some specific combination of words. What was it? It was about dreaming, or something that dreams, or... oh, what the heck was it? The sheep? Cried Vice suddenly, blurting out the first thing that popped into his head. The others stared at him for a moment before slowly shaking their heads. After a few more minutes of thought, Aster's face suddenly lit up. I remember, he said. Those who dream. That's what he said, I'm sure of it. At this, the mayor produced a thick sheaf of papers from his pocket. He flipped through them a few times before finally nodding his approval at Aster. That sounds right, he said, as a stray sheet of paper fluttered to the ground. My notes also mentioned something about that. I bet it was the last thing you heard before you fell asleep. The mayor shook his head, his worn pencil stub tracing lines across a lone piece of paper. The last month, I've done nothing but study the disease we call the Death Dream, he said. I mean, I'm the mayor, right? It's my job to protect people from whatever comes along, but I never expected a couple of outsiders to start entering people's dreams. The mayor paused, a grimace crossing his face. I should probably be taking notes or something. Bites immediately fired back. I applaud the force the will it takes to research a disease in your dreams, he said. But perhaps we should bend your efforts to escaping this place instead of trying to understand it? Mayor's hand tightened around his pencil, snapping off the tip, rather. I've tried to escape. From the very first moment I realized I was locked inside my own dream, I've been looking for a way out, but I don't think it exists. I mean, this is my dream, right? If there was an exit, I'd know about it. Pause for a moment, his unfocused eye. Wow. Sorry, I think I'm reacting to something. His unfocused eyes staring at nothing. My village was beautiful, he said to no one in particular, and it was filled with the most wonderful people you could ever hope to meet. Once this disease took hold, things changed. It's like someone took a sponge and soaked all the color out of our lives. I just want us to be whole again. I want us to be free. I won't stop trying until it happens. Aster nodded in agreement. Huh? Wait a second, I didn't nod. Look, if we can be of any help, said Aster, just ask. Now, hold on, I did not just say that. Silence, cried Weiss. Grimore looked from Aster to the mayor and back again, his face filling with confidence. Grimore Weiss's face is always confident, thank you very much. Now see here, Mayor, you told us that nothing can exist in this dream without your knowing of it. But yet you seemed surprised to see us when we first arrived, yes? The mayor slowly raised his head, realization dawning on his face. Oh my god, he said. You're right. I had no idea you were coming. Human imagination is a limitless engine, said Weiss, and dreams are the fuel. If you can imagine an exit, then it must be so. With your permission, we shall search it out. Thank you, said the mayor. I don't know how I can repay you. Payment is not required. We are as eager as you to be done with this place. The mayor suddenly felt as if he could breathe again. He'd almost forgotten what it was like. Good luck, you two, he called at the departing forms of Aster and Weiss. We're all counting on you. As Aster slowly faded into the misty forest, the mayor was struck by a sense of deja vu. I saw this man once before, he thought, but where? Aster's mood darkened as he trudged through the forest. Hours earlier, when the beauty of the place was still a new thing, he'd been confident they could get in, find the exit, and be home in time for dinner. The deeper they went, the more the forest closed in around him. Mist made it difficult to see more than a foot in any direction, and moss-covered rocks seemed determined to twist his ankle. By the way, it did become apparent to me that the main character can actually see the narration. More than once he'd been forced to steady himself on the rough bark of a tree, and his hands now left small trails of blood on everything he touched. Admittedly, Weiss was proving to be a spectacularly poor traveling companion. Unhindered by either terrain or physical effort, he spent most of his time urging Aster to pick up the pace and grumbling about their slow progress. Finally, after Weiss muttered something about legless turtles being more adept at navigating the environment, Aster snapped. Okay, Weiss, cram it for a second, would you? You don't have to walk. Aster leaned against a tree and tried to stretch the knots from his back. How can this stupid forest be so big, he muttered to himself. The moment the words tumbled from his mouth, a cacophony of insects sprang to life. Every imaginable form of buzz, click, and hits roared out at a volume that rattled his teeth. Aster slapped his hands over his ears and screamed to be heard. Weiss, what's going on? Aster could see Weiss' mouth moving, but he might as well have been shouting in a tornado. The insects screamed, the forest howled, and then, just as Aster's ears seemed ready to tear from his head and go running for cover, the sound diminished. Hesitantly, he removed the hand from his left ear and listened to the creatures of the woods. Ree, 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 ree. Shaka-kaka, shaka-kaka, shaka-kaka. Chick-chicky, or chick-chee, chick-chick-chee. That's a weird one. Woo, 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 my, woo, 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 my. Yeah, no. As the insect symphony dimmed, another decibel. Aster began to detect patterns in the sound. This isn't random, he thought. It's not just white noise, it's something else. The insects weren't just calling out, they were asking a question. One with it is lacking, 2 with it is ideal, 3 with it is dangerous. What is it? Wheel? By my pages, is this a riddle? Guess so. I mean, it feels sort of forced, but maybe it's the key to getting out of this place. I leave it to you to answer. 1 with it is lacking, 2 with it is ideal, 3 with it is dangerous. What is it? Answer is a secret. The answer is a seesaw. How should I know? I'm gonna go with secret. Inwardly furious that Vice left the task to him, Aster sighed and gave the only answer that made sense. Calling me out like that. It's a secret. Right? The sound of the insect stopped as suddenly as it began. The forest undergrowth parted before Aster like a rippling wave, opening a new path. These forest anthropods are making a road for us, said Vice with glee. Pleased at passing the test, Aster moved on with new intensity. The path offered his body relief from the undergrowth, but gave even greater cheer to his mind. As long as they were on a path, their journey had a purpose. How long is this gonna go for? I would like to, like, move. I would like to have pictures, actually. At least give me pictures, please. I guess the forest has accepted us, huh? Said Aster after a bit. Vice spun around to face his companion. Do not mistake the will of this forest for some happy pet you can suddenly befriend. We have no idea where this path leads. As Vice finished speaking, the pair turned a corner and found themselves facing a clear forest spring. Smiling, Aster picked up a small rock and sent it skipping across the surface of the water. Good heavens, said Vice. Man, I keep going between the pronunciations. Oh, and just noticed that they got the lion-like face, although I guess looking at it now it's more like a bear. Anyway, his surprise was understandable. Each time the rock struck the surface of the water, a musical note rang out. Ooh! The rock finally stopped moving and sank to the bottom of the spring. The ripples it left behind came together to form words. Oh, fun. Enter through the window, but break no glass. When night falls, I vanish. What am I? The sun, or light. It's gonna be one of those two, right? Absurdly easy, barked Vice. Now answer it. Aster grit his teeth and tried not to reach out and strangle his companion. He's right, after all. This one is pretty easy. I enter through the window, but break no glass. When night falls, I vanish. What am I? Sunlight. Oh, it was a combination of the two. Sunlight! A plume of water suddenly burst from the spring. Sunlight filtered through the trees and reflected off the plume, creating a shimmering rainbow that spanned the entire horizon. All my years, said Vice softly, I have never seen such a sight. Perhaps I have misunderstood the intentions of this place. Hey, look, cried Aster, awaking Vice from his daze. There's a house or something over there. Glancing in the direction of his friend's extended hand, Vice saw a small cottage nestled among the trees. That's weird, isn't it, Vice? I mean, who would build a house all the way out here? Aster looked over and pounded on the door. After a minute of solid banging, a minute? The door cracked open and a small man peered out. His body was cloaked from neck to toe in a large black cape, while his face was obscured by mist. Began Aster, but before he could get any further, the cloaked man held a hand up and began speaking. I have 4 legs in the morning and 2 at noon, but end the night with 3. What am I? Ooh. Hey. Where do I recognize this music from? Oh, this music I remember from, the the Lost Shrine, I think it was called, or whatever. The place where I had to go get Yona after after a grave error in judgment took place on my part. Right. So Aster tried to ask the cloakman who he was and what he was doing there, but he simply repeated the question. If we wish to engage this man in conversation, said Vice, it seems we must answer his riddle. Yeah, I suppose, said Aster. Well, at least it's an easy one. Is it, I have 4 legs in the morning and 2 at noon. End the night with 3. What am I? This one actually stumps me, so I'm gonna have to look at the answers. Man, a demon, and an angel. Oh! Actually, that might make sense. Because of how many limbs you might be using at the given moment, yes? 4, because, you know, we'd be pushing ourselves up with our arms. 2, because, at noon, because we'd be wide awake, right? By the end, end the night with 3. Because we'd use one arm to support ourselves as we go to bed? Maybe, like, that's my thought process. A man. Mist dissolved from the cloaked figure as he spoke a single word. Correct. That, the man flung his garments aside, revealing his true identity. You're the mayor, cried Aster. The small man slowly shook his head. I am not the mayor you know. Now listen to my words. Long ago I saw a version of you that was not yourself. Sorry. What's that mean? It will make sense in time. At present, I simply congratulate you on cracking the seal of the Death Dream. Now you must go to the person at the forest entrance. With that, the man turned on his heel and slammed the door behind him. As Aster watched, mist seeped up from the ground and enveloped the cottage, erasing it from existence. When Aster and Vice returned to the forest entrance, they found the mayor leaning against a tree. Oh, interesting. That also makes sense. They found the mayor leaning against a tree. As soon as he caught sight of the duo, he sprang to his feet and scrambled over to them. Good gravy, he cried. You made it! You actually made it back! His left hand grasped Aster's and pumped it so fiercely it threatened to dislodge from the socket, while his right seized Vice by the cupboard and swung him through the air. Ah, by the heavens, stop shaking me, fool! We have not even told you if we were successful or not. The mayor smiled broadly and shook his head. I'm just happy you're alive. I didn't think I'd ever see you again. Aster withdrew himself from the mayor's eager handshake with a slight smile. We broke the Death Dream's seal, he said. At least I think we did. The mayor's face beamed as Aster filled him in on the details. When the tale was done, the 3 of them laid down on the forest ground and fell asleep. Aster cocked his head. Okay, hang on a second. This is crazy. Why would we just lay down and go to sleep? Cease your endless prattle and go to sleep, fool. Fighting against the rules of this place is futility itself. I get it. Basically, the narrator is telling us to fall asleep because that's how we leave the dream. Is that it? Aster and the mayor obediently reclined atop the grassy earth. Have you forgotten? Continued Vice. It is words that control the death dream. Words that allow us to move from place to place. No matter how unnatural they seem, the words are absolute. Therefore, if the words tell us to sleep, then sleep we shall. And once we do, the story will continue. With that, the trio found their eyes growing heavy, their breath slowing. This is the first time, began the mayor, the first time I have felt tired, since I was imprisoned here. His words were cut off by a loud, long yawn, and he remembered nothing more. They might have slept for an hour or a year. When they awoke, things had a slightly more real quality to them. The mist felt thicker, the leaves greener. It was clear that they had awakened from their dream. Whee! Aster shook the mayor's shoulder gently. Good news, he said. I think we made it. Oh wow, said the mayor in an odd voice. We did it. I'm back. He blinked once, and then again, as if not quite believing the sight before him. You have no idea how much this means. Death Dream was spreading through our village, and I wanted to... Well, I thought I could figure out how to stop it, but I guess that wasn't the case. I must have caught the disease and become trapped in my own dream. The mayor started to stand, then collapsed back to the earth. He stared at his legs as if trying to remember how they worked, then glanced at Aster and shrugged. Without a word, the young man reached down and pulled the mayor to his feet. Real life may take some getting used to, said the mayor as a wry smile crossed his lip. You shall relearn in short order, I'm sure, said Vice. For now, you should return to your home and rest. No, said the mayor, swaying on unsteady feet. No, I can't. Some of the villagers are still trapped in the Death Dream. I have to save them. The mayor slowly made his way to the divine tree in the center of the village, then bowed his head and prayed silently. This is a holy tree, he explained when the prayer was finished. The guardian of our village's history and memories. Superstition will only make our mission harder, muttered Vice. We should not put our faith in the gods. The mayor shook his head. Not the gods, the words. Legend says that our tree is home to a powerful magic known as a sealed verse. Aster and Vice could not contain their surprise. It seemed a goal had been found in the most unexpected of places. I say, muttered Vice, this is certainly a stroke of luck. And the first dream is certainly making more sense to me now. The three of them said their goodbyes. Aster mentioned the strange man who had given them the third riddle and the mysterious words he had left them with. I once saw a version of you that was not yourself. I once saw a version of you that was not yourself, muttered the mayor. What in the world does that mean? Lost in thought, he stared into space for a long moment. No, he said softly, this is going to sound odd, but I had a feeling I'd seen you before too. Aster tried to keep a straight face and failed, but the mayor didn't seem to notice. Deja vu, right? Anyway, I figure it's just some kind of illusion created by the Death Dream. It probably doesn't mean anything. Aster gave the mayor a nod and a smile, but inwardly his thoughts were racing. There's something wrong about the mayor and his words. What exactly is going on there? Or here? That riddle would prove to be the most difficult one of all.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Now I can finally return to a normal life.
This is one of the most bizarre diseases I have ever encountered.
I know. That's why we have to help the other villagers, no matter what.
Obtained a sealed verse. Obtained dark execution magic. You know what? There's another sealed verse I picked up recently, right? I keep not checking out my sealed verses. Summon magical spikes from the ground to impale. Ooh! This one we've seen actually in the early tutorial. Starts to increase the number of spikes.
For a sealed verse, that didn't take much effort.
It took a lot of effort on my voice.
Yes, all a touch too easy if you ask me. It's almost as if someone was guiding us to this village.
Don't overthink advice.
Someone was guiding us to this village. I had a dream to come here, and Yona had a dream to come here. Only, I don't know about Yona's case, but in my case, I definitely made out sealed verse first. Alright, how long has this been going? I definitely lost track of time. Oh, well, we have actually a little more time to go. Okay, so... hang on a second. It looks like the main quest is telling me to leave, but, you know what, let's try and help these people out.
And another victim. This work certainly is trying.
Hold on a second. So, what would you say to this person?
This person must be dreaming too.
It would appear that way, yes.
Alright, let's enter this villager's dream.
Can't say I'm very excited to go back there. That dream world sorta creeps me out.
Perhaps you should spend less time complaining and more time getting on with the mission.
Yeah.
Okay, what's in this dream? Oh, dang it, more words. Okay. I guess that makes sense. I breathe air scented with death and resist the urge to laugh, for I know it will sound like the words of a madman. How long have I been in this fresh hell? My box, my prison, is tucked beneath a stairway in the long unused catacombs of some infinite castle. Outside, I hear the sounds of a funeral dirge that plays without end. Ooh! This track, was the one that played in, the dungeon area at the junk, yard, right? I forget the place's actual name. The junk heap? I think it was? Anyway, outside I hear the words of funeral dirge that plays without end. Light has no place here. Wind is a forgotten friend. I pray for death to come, but he forsakes me. Time passes, and eternity slips by in a single tick of the clock. Someone knocks on my prison. Anyone there? I hear an unfamiliar voice say, "My savior!" I claw at the door of my jail, embedding thick splinters under my ragged nails. I scream for help. I laugh. I sob. Surely this is the product of my addled mind. Surely it cannot be true. So it seems to me that the narrator here is the villager whose dream I've just entered. Help me, I cry. For the love of all the gods, help me. Possibly, I hear the sound of a lock being torn out and falling to the floor. As the door slowly creaks open, I have just enough time to see a silver-haired boy in a floating book before the light pours inside. My eyes, accustomed to blackness, explode with pain, and I am forced to turn away. Understandable. Have a nice day. Who are you, I ask, shaking hands covering my face. How have you come to this place? I am Grimoire Weiss, and this is Aster. Long have we been searching for you. Now come, stand. We shall awaken from this nightmare together. The one known as Aster extends his hand and pulls me from the cell. Though my eyes are slow to adjust to freedom, my ears are keen as ever, and they recognize the staccato sounds of heavy rain. Never thought to hear that again, I whisper. Would that this were not such a terrible storm, said Grimoire Weiss. Look at your feet. I force my eyes open and see water pooling around my ankles and lapping at my shins. There's so much of it. Yes, and more comes each moment we delay. If we do not make good our escape, we shall drown in this castle. We know you are weak. You are our only hope to survive this place. Time that long-forgotten friend, made itself known again. I nodded my head and swore to save my rescuers, no matter the cost. The castle catacombs are a maze, twisting upon themselves like the endless entrails of a giant. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed north. Oh, interesting. At the end of the corridor, I find a row of 20 gorgeous canopied beds resting atop a carpet of velvet. All are covered in a thick layer of dust and cobwebs. This is gonna turn into a, I kind of forget what those kind of games are called, but something like this comes up in another game, another 2 games actually I've played. And they were there much more for the humor. Searching for the door to the next room, I come upon a shapeless mass of gray matter. It has been shoved against the side of the wall, and despite my fever, I think I see the outlines of a door just beyond. When I reach out a finger and touch a piece of the mass, it turns to dust and drifts away on the wind. Realization slowly dawns, and I fall to my knees and weep. Corpses. I face a mountain of charred and crumbling corpses. I look from it to the beds and back again until the horror dawns full upon me. Someone has piled these bodies into a tower and set them ablaze. Whether they were alive or dead, I do not know, and sanity will not permit me to consider the proposition further. Make a sound, whether scream or laughter, I cannot be certain. Then my mind grants me merciful blackness, and I find myself opening the door and leaving that most terrible of rooms. Went down the dim corridors. So, south is where I came from, yes? Because first time around I went north. So, if we're going somewhere new, it should be east. Okay, and then again, like west this time would be the reverse direction, so let's go north. Now I can go either east or west. Those would be, well, actually, more north. Really, south is the only reverse direction here right now. This is a problem. I have no clue. Let's see here. Let's proceed north more. At the end of the path, the waters rise to my waist, exhausting me both physically and spiritually. I pray that this is the way out. Eventually, I can stand the sight of the waters no longer, and so turn my eyes upward. Imagine my surprise when I see a series of paintings hanging on the faded plaster wall. Each depicts a person in the prime of life, clad in clothing of the highest quality. The styles, however, are strange to me, leading me to believe that these people had lived long, long ago. One subject wears an outfit that particularly catches my eye. It is constructed of a thin, breezy cloth and decorated with a motif of flowers and birds, while encircling the figure's waist is a leather belt of the most perfect construction. It is a stunning costume, even by modern standards. As I gaze at the portrait, I am struck by the desire to touch it with my own hands. Yet, as I extend a single finger to the painting, I am gripped by a most unpleasant feeling. Staring closely at the image, I see it bend and warp into the shape of another finger. Something behind the picture is pointing at me. Is it another prisoner, a fellow inmate trapped for eternity in this place? I cannot let it pass, and so I seize the portrait with both hands and throw it into the water. The wall is hollow behind the painting, and inside I can just make out a body. Whether or not this is a prisoner, there would be no rescue. The poor soul is long dead. Scraps of clothing lie on the floor around the bones. Only a small amount of the fabric has survived, but it features the same delicate designs that were depicted in the portrait. I have been admiring a row of corpses, blocked from view by portraits of each victim at their pinnacle. Enough. Shielding my eyes, I paddled forward through the water. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed south. Okay, so then, east or west? Let's go west. At the end of the path, a row of heavy wooden casks lie on their sides in a dark chamber. Doubtless they are filled with wine. My throat roars to life. My thirst, rather, roars to life. I cannot remember the last time my parched throat had relief. Well, this is going to turn out bad, isn't it? Scramble to the first cask and pull frantically at the cork. The theft of a few cups means nothing, I tell myself. The casks will be ruined by the flood regardless. Finally, the cork surrenders to my attack, and thick red liquid bursts forth from the hole. This is no wine, it is blood still warm from the body. Whether animal or something else, I cannot say. The foul liquid soon mixes with the rising floodwaters, creating a warmth that laps against my thighs. By all the gods, are the rest of these casks filled with blood as well? I lack the courage to confirm my suspicion. Disgust quickly becomes fear as I turn to flee, but my weakened legs betray me, sending me toppling over into the red ocean below. The smell of death is everywhere. It threatens to consume me. I must escape this hell. Crawling on all fours like an animal, holding back screams lest any foulness enter my mouth, I lurch forward through the red waters and out of the room to freedom. Went down the dim corridors and proceed east. So east it is. At the end of the path, I find myself in a great hall with only the sounds of rain for comfort. The waterlogged red carpet squishes beneath my feet as I approach the center of the room. There are a lot of bodies here, aren't there? Once there, I behold a beautiful dining table upon which rests china and silver of the finest construction, as well as the remains of a fantastic feast. My eyes continue to adjust. I see many chairs surrounding a table, each holding a dinner guest. There are a lot of bodies here. Noticing movement, I approach the chair at the table's head, but as the truth of the matter dawns on me, I recoil in horror. The host of the feast is a corpse. as are all the invited guests. An army of foul, wriggling insects have made their homes in their remains, and this is the movement I saw. This one splendid feast was now nothing more than a requiem for the damned. I take a moment to steady my shaking hands, then slowly back away from the table. Desperate to lose sight of the abomination before me, my gaze lands on the chairs upon which the dead were seated. This is a mistake, for the chairs proved to be even more terrible than the feast itself. Each one is covered in a layer of spikes that run from the seat, up the back, and down the arms. This explains the color of the carpet beneath my feet. I can only pray that the unfortunate diners were dead when the meal began. For if not, it is a simple task to envision the agonized screams that must have sprung forth from their mouths. My mind grasped frantically at the possibility that these souls had committed some terrible crime for which this was punishment. I hope. Though in truth, I suspect they had committed no crime at all. Yeah. There would be no tomorrow for these unfortunates. This was their last supper. Oh, we have a new direction here. Let's proceed north. Water has risen to my chin and now laps greedily at my mouth and nose. Dumb bastard, shouts Aster. He surely desires to say more, but the rest of his insult is cut short by the rising water. Grimoire, via sweat and tattered, floats on the water's surface. It is already too late for him. This wasn't how it was supposed to end. Alright? So probably that happened because I took all the bad routes? Try this again. Or not. Okay, so it looks like I probably can just start this again. Clearly I have retained the progress I made with this guy because he's not important right now and the quest is pointing me back out. How long has this been going? Okay, now we're definitely over time. So, yeah. Only a little bit though, thankfully. I do hope you've all enjoyed. We'll definitely come back to this next episode, and then maybe there won't be so much reading I have to do later on. This was definitely a weird... This definitely is a weird day. Goodbye, everyone.